Hello there, friends, and welcome to number 15. I meant the Super Duper Mod Training brought to you by Zeke. We would have some cool sponsors or shit, but we have like three members and no one fucking loves us, and we're all pieces of shit, so let's go ahead and get started. A little bit of what you guys are going to learn today. What you're going to learn today, boy, we're going to learn about expectations, basic procedures, basic bot stuff, how to moderate and what to moderate, which there has been a little bit of confusion, so we're going to talk about it. And then finally, what happens if you fuck up and everything goes to shit? So, pretty basic stuff. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to talk about are the expectations. The biggest expectation is your activity. That gray dude, that is you. And you are the front line for activity in the server. You are responsible for getting everybody involved and keeping everybody involved. You are responsible for welcoming new people, encouraging people to make profiles who are unsorted. You're responsible for being active in RP and for being inclusive in RP. That means RPing with old friends and new friends. As we all know, people who are new come into the server tend to one line. Their RP style tends to be different than ours, but we still need to RP with them and we still need to be patient because we need to think about people like Seth and people like Ryan who joined us and were one lining at first, and now they are both brilliant writers who I am personally jealous of. So let's keep them in mind whenever we are hanging out with the new people and getting them acquainted to the environment here. So yeah, expectations, big activity. You guys are the front line for activity. Be active in RP and out of RP. Peeking in the general channels and saying hi. Um, coming up with daily prompts and stuff, and then RP activity and inclusivity. Very, very, very important things. The next big expectation is behavior, and we have had a couple of incidences today and yesterday showing us that mods are not immune to the rules. You guys are not above the rules. You guys are, on the other hand, the example for everybody else in the server to follow. So, I ask, I beg, and plead that you know the rules and follow the rules so that you can enforce the rules. Because if we aren't following our own rules, how are we expected to enforce them on other people? The biggest part of being a mod is having the respect of the community. And if you aren't following your own rules, they're not going to respect you enough to let you enforce them. Think about the numbers here. Back on Homewards, there were 300 members and 7 admins. If the members didn't respect us, it would have been anarchy because we're so outnumbered. So we need to know the rules and follow the rules so that we can enforce the rules, which is so, so, so important. Not calling anybody out, just letting everybody know up front you are expected to know and follow the rules so that you can enforce the rules and keep the server safe, healthy, happy, and fun for everybody. All right. Next, we're going to talk about delegation, the actual black and white of what each staff role is going to be doing. So head staff, you guys are the admins. You're going to be in charge of server maintenance, which includes fixing roles and channels, making sure everybody has access to the things that they need to have access to. If somebody can't get to a channel that they need, then it's your job to step in and fix the roles, fix the channels, make sure everything looks good and is neat and tidy and clean. This includes clearing failed commands out of the registration channels and the poll channel, and just being overall on top of the mechanical side of the server. I know in the past I handled most of that, but I'm looking to delegate it out and share the load with everybody, which will make my life a lot easier considering that I'm now working anywhere between 40 and 60 hours a week. The next big responsibility for you guys is going to be bumping the server. You guys are going to be active in bumping the server, consistent, setting timers, trading off whether it's days or individual bumps, figuring out what schedule works for everybody, and making sure that we're always, always, always at the top of that Hogwarts search on Discord.me and Discord. The next big one is bot maintenance. If for any reason one of the bots stops auto-assigning the roles on join or stops auto-moderating, it's going to be your job to go in and either fix it with commands in the server or go onto the actual interface on the bot's website and fix it if I'm not around to do it. Again, this is something that I used to handle, but I'd really like to see everybody getting involved. Next big responsibility is going to be moderation. You guys are mods just like the regular staff. So keep an eye on the server, make sure everything is going smoothly, and moderate as needed. Another thing, approving profiles, you're going to be doing this too. Um, you're going to be working with the new people on the server, making sure that they're straight on the lore, being kind and compassionate when correcting profiles so that we can get everybody a character, have a super happy, fun time RPing together. And then the biggest thing, being active and positive on the server, that is your number one job as head staff. Getting everybody involved, being super fun, being super inclusive, like I said before, welcoming new people, getting new people sorted, making sure everybody's having a good time. So that's your responsibilities in a nutshell. And moderators, the regular staff role. You guys are just mods. You're going to approve profiles, bump the server, moderate, be active and positive. And something that I didn't write on here that I probably should have was that you guys are going to be keeping up to date the news section on our discord.me page. So every, other day somebody just writes something, yoink it from announcements, whatever. Be creative, be fun. It doesn't have to be too long, just making sure that the community outside, whenever they go to our page, sees, oh, look, these guys really care. They're updating their discord.me page. They want, to reach out. So I'm going to go ahead and join their server. And I think that'll really help us grow. So, yeah, those are your basic expectations. We're not going to have the hyper specified manager roles or whatever we had before. It's going to be lots of teamwork. I'll delegate specific tasks for specific people as needs arise. Just like, hey, TJ, can you do this for me? Hey, Kylie, can you do this for me? Hey, let's work together on this. But yeah, so that's how this server is going to run, and I think it'll, be a lot less work intensive for a few individuals and sort of really level out the amount of work that we all have to do, which is nice. So yeah, now let's talk a little bit about basic procedures. What are we going to do during a raid? Ban everybody involved. It's pretty easy. Use the Nadeko.ban, ping the user, and then write raid, because it will DM them the reason for their ban, and it will record it in the mod logs. And now, what to do if somebody's disrespecting you as a staff member? If you're being disrespected as a staff member, hold your ground. Mute them immediately, bring them into DMs, and ask them what's going on. Most of the time, if somebody's disrespecting you as a staff member, it's because there's been an error in communication or transparency. Either they don't understand what we're doing, or they're just being a shit. But if they don't understand what we're doing, feel free to explain it to them in DMs, and let them know that disrespecting a mod is not going to be acceptable. And if they keep on it, feel free to ban them. I have you guys back 100%. So if somebody is really getting on your ass, hold your ground, mute them, bring them to DMs, talk about it. And if they're not cooperating, if they're being assholes, ban them. Because we keep the server running, and people need to understand that. Sometimes we have to make decisions that not everybody loves, but we will always be transparent about our decisions, and that is the most important thing. Now, what to do if you see some dumb shit in general? First off, screenshot the dumb shit, then delete the dumb shit, then mute or warn the person. If it was an isolated thing, if they're not spewing dumb shit anymore, just warn them, and make sure that you're thorough with the description of the warning so that we can look back on it later and see if people are making the same mistakes over and over again. It's pretty basic stuff. All of the resources are in the resources channel in the staff section. So yeah. And then if you find ERP content on the server or super lewd, gross NSFW stuff in general, ban them instantly with no appeal. Make sure you log it when you ban them. So .ban at the user, and then banned for NSFW content in general /ERP in whatever channel. Then screenshot the content posted in staff chat and delete the content. This is just so that we can keep receipts in case somebody comes crying back and says, why did you ban me? Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we want to have receipts for everything, and we'll probably make a receipts channel. But yeah. And then if someone's advertising other servers, same thing. Screenshot the advertisement, ban them, log the ban, post a screenshot, and move on. No appeal if you're advertising in DMs. Or in the server, especially in the server. And if you need to ban someone but you aren't an admin, all you gotta do, mute them and then kick them. And if they come back, the mute rule should stick, so they can't talk in the server. So it's no big deal. Ping the admins in the staff chat. We'll be around. We'll ban them for you. And lastly, but most importantly, when we inevitably encounter some Lord bullshit, we are going to ignore her because A, they can't prove that we are who they say we are because Discord does not track IPs through accounts. We learned this while trying to report Lord's alts. And secondly, we are not doing anything wrong. This server is completely void of any NSFW content. So, what the hell are they gonna fucking do? If they come in and raid, we ban them, report them as raiders, and move on. We have nothing to worry about. Yeah, so that's pretty low stress. I like that. Feels good, feels good. All right, next up. Bot stuff. The backside of the server, including auto rolls, auto moderation run by Probot. Front side, including moderation and other stuff, is Nautico. You guys are very familiar with Nautico. Nautico is the base code for SageBot and Best Boy, so you guys are probably all familiar with her. But, you know, all of the resources for both of these bots are posted in the resources channel in the staff chat. Probot is actually run on a web interface, so there's a dashboard, so go ahead and just look over and familiarize yourself with that. Familiarize yourself with the deco. I'll give you guys about a week. Just let me know when you feel comfortable and proficient with both. I'm not going to test you or anything. I just want to know so that I can be confident and comfortable leaving the server in you guys' very wonderful, capable hands. All right. Next up, we have how to moderate. Now, this is a very, very specific system that I have kind of developed over, I don't know, fucking years of being a mod online, because it's definitely different than diffusing conflict in person because it's all text. You don't really have, you know, intent, true intent. It's very hard to tell what people mean just with typed words sometimes. But this will be great for us because it will make us come off as compassionate but still efficient, and that is the perfect balance for a good moderator on Discord. So the first thing you're going to do every single time is assess the situation. Read up, read back, look at all of the receipts, and from that you will ascertain the context. Was it a joke? Was it malicious? Was it just somebody getting carried away? You know, is it a troll? Is it a raid? And then that will affect your moderation when you execute it. If somebody was joking, maybe they get moderated a little bit more leniently than somebody who was, you know, being malicious or breaking rule 1. And then as soon as you execute the moderation command, which you can do in general, immediately go to the person's DMs if they haven't been banned and explain why you made that decision and cite the rule they broke. The most important thing is to be diplomatic and professional without being cold and dickish. So we need to be compassionate and empathetic while also being professional. And it's a very difficult balance to find, but I'm so confident that you guys will all be able to find it. I know in the past we've had some issues with people being very hot-headed, being very trigger-happy with mutes and bans, and not communicating effectively with the server or the person who's being moderated for why they're being moderated. And that really causes a lot of, you know, stress and tension in the community that we really, really don't need, especially because we want this place to be a happy, positive, fun community, right? But yeah, if you guys have any questions about how to moderate, especially in a situation that's difficult, feel free to ask me, but I really want to see you guys shine and command respect for yourselves rather than just calling me in every single time if you're having difficulty. So, with that, we're going to look at what to moderate, and this is my favorite section of the slideshow because I got to be very profane. So, we're going to look at exactly what we're moderating and how the rules sort of affect it. So, first thing we're looking at. Oh god, fuck me, this is fucking terrible. This is perfectly acceptable on the server because this is an exclamation. This is not somebody actually calling someone else to dick them until they can't walk. This is simply someone having a bad day, right? And that's perfectly fine. Everybody has bad days. So this is perfectly acceptable because it's profane but not pornographic. Next up. I want you to suck my giant gay furry werewolf cock. This one, less fine. Definitely not allowed in general. In filth, it would be acceptable as long as there were no images attached. But this is flagrantly pornographic. So, no pornography, no, you know, ERP content or NSFW content in general, especially. We want everybody to feel comfortable here, and a lot of people aren't comfortable with sex. So, do the compassionate thing and keep your nasties in filth. Next up, we have shit or cunt, shit, twat, McFuckwatch. This is perfectly fine. We do not moderate swearing. Swearing is absolutely fine on the server as long as it's not directed at somebody, like calling somebody a stupid fucking dumb ass idiot. Like, especially someone you don't know, like, you can always flame the shit out of Henny, like, I don't care, because she doesn't care. But yeah, so as long as it's not directed at anybody or breaking rule one, then it's chill. You can curse. Next up, dicks out for Harambe. Absolutely. The mere mention of genitalia does not make something NSFW. How else are we going to pay respect for our dude Harambe? You know, this is very important that we get our dicks out every once in a while. Now, this is God, I'm such a fag. This is a reclaimed slur. It's not directed at anybody else. It's directed at the user who, reclaimed the slur, and this is perfectly acceptable. The only slur that we are not reclaiming is the hard ER, the N word, right? So if anybody posts the N word, immediate mute, immediate warn. Any other slurs? Faggot, I don't know, any fucking, I don't know any other slurs. But yeah, perfectly fine. Racial slurs, less fine. But, like, I don't know, reclaiming slurs is 100% fine. But there is a very, very fine line, and we're about to talk about that right now. Because there's a difference between God, I'm such a fag and stupid faggots should burn. Whereas God, I'm such a fag is someone referring to themselves as a fag. Stupid faggot should burn is using the slur in a derogatory way. And that is going to be the context that you're looking for when moderating. Is somebody using the slur with the intention to hurt somebody else? And if the answer is yes, always, always, always moderate. Always, without any exception. Even if it started out as a joke, if somebody uses a slur in a derogatory fashion, they get moderated. And that is going to be the fine line that we dance. I think that it is laid out pretty clearly here. Not too many people use slurs who aren't trolls, but I very firmly believe that any minority should be able to reclaim their slurs. So, yeah, let's reclaim slurs, but in like a healthy, not destructive, not derogatory way. Any of you guys have any questions about in the moment decision? Just use your best instinct if I'm not around or if TJ's not around. And, like I said, I trust you guys implicitly. So, let's talk about the final thing. What happens if you majorly fuck up or you die? So, there are only three things that can get your role removed, your staff role removed anyway. And inactivity, behavior, and inability. With inactivity, if you need to take a break or take a step back from the server or anything like that, absolutely 100% do it, but let us know. All we need is some healthy, active communication, right? So if you're super stressed, you have exams, work's kicking your ass, whatever, let us know. We'll give you a staff on vacation role, and we'll cover for you until you can come back. Try not to like leave for a fucking month or whatever, but if you need like a weekend or even like a week or two, recovering from a surgery, death in the family, your dog graduated from college, whatever, let us know. We'll give you a break. Real life comes first. We've always said that. That'll always be our anthem. Just let us know. Communicate with us. The second and most likely and most common is the behavior. So if you aren't following the rules, if you're being a jackwad, if you're targeting members, if you're not being compassionate and kind, if you're sectioning yourself off too much, of course you'll get a warning. You'll be moderated just like any of the other members will, but at that 3 strike mark, starting from the time that this video is posted, you will lose your role after 3 strikes. Please keep that in mind. We are not above the rules. Like I said earlier, we have to follow the rules to be able to enforce them and to be respected members of the community. And the third one, and I didn't necessarily want to include this, but I think it's relevant even still, is ability. If you prove that you do not have the ability to do the very most basic things that moderators do on a server, then you will lose your role. I'm going to give you guys plenty of time to learn everything, and I'm going to help you all along the way. I'm going to give you everything you need to set you up for success, but at the end of the day, if you don't have access to a PC 90% of the time, or if you're, you know, enabled to post an embedded message or operate in a deco for moderation, after a month, you're probably going to lose your role. And that's just because we need to be able to make sure that this place is running smoothly, and we need mods who know what they're doing to do that. So, inactivity, behavior, and ability. Yep. Now that the Saddest part of the entire thing is over. Let's wrap it up. Uh, I'm always available for questions, especially in this transitional period, because I'm super, super excited about these new guidelines for everybody, and I can't wait to see what you guys think and answer any questions that you may have. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video that's probably obnoxiously long by now, and probably go sleep with my boyfriend. So, have a good night, welcome to the team, and let's get this fucking bread, gamers. Yeet!